Respected Chief Justice of India, Thakur Sahab, respected Dr. Justice Dalveer Singh Bhandari, Ambassador Ashok Kumar Mukherjee, Siddharth Vandrajan, Aman, and former Sadri Riyasat of Kashmir, Dr. Karan Singh. It is the story of Dr. Saab's family and what happened. You know, I'm not a legal person. I'm a performer and I am a cultural activist and I work in Kashmir. What I may talk, I may ramble in between. I will not have a, linear way of talking it because that's not how we work. You know, my nani, when I was a kid, told me a story once that in 1947 she wanted to go to Hardwar, where Rawalpindi, and she was caught during the riots there, and she used to tell me how many dead bodies she saw, what blood she saw, and she was in a burqa and how she saved her life. My father told me a story. He was some kind of a political worker at that time. There was the scouts or Jammu Kashmir Guards, whatever they call them. He said, during the turmoil, 47 partition, etc., Jinnah came once to Kashmir and he had a public meeting in which he criticized very heavily Sheikh Abdullah that he is not a good Muslim and he should be joining Pakistan, all this nonsense of his secularism, etc., and he's not a practicing Muslim, etc. Within hours, another public gathering happened. It was addressed by Sheikh Abdullah now. And Sheikh Abdullah Sahab attacked Jinnah while he's in Srinagar and said, how is he calling himself a Muslim? He has pork, he can't, he doesn't offer namaz, etc., and provoked the audiences. And there was a huge public which went almost to attack Jinnah where he was staying, either in a houseboat or somewhere. And there were some British police officers who had to escort him, almost running for his life from Srinagar to Baramulla and Kishanganga and etc. Then I was also told when the Indian forces came, it's like, not to my family, but the ordinary people told me, they were tall Sikh soldiers, handsome, and how people welcomed them all through the Shalting where the battle had to be fought. It was just on the Srinagar, fringe of the Srinagar. And many stories like that. Then I'm uprooted. I'm an involved party to it. We got uprooted in 90. I ask every time one question to myself. What happened? Why did this, what Kashmir is today, why people are against the valley is all the time boiling. Again, yesterday there was something. I think we need to ponder. There have been books and books and books. I've been reading for the last 25 years books on Kashmir. Mostly those books are either personal agendas or books written with a certain intent, highly involved, dramatic, making tear-jerker out of it, and then you have an international press blowing those books up as if they're the masterpieces on Kashmir have been written, whether in terms of novels or in terms of even films, national awards given to films, in terms of whether they're worth as film material even, etc., etc. I never knew Aman at all. I get a call one day, we want you to meet you, he and his sister, and we want you to come here for this function. I said, look, I'm not a legal lawyer, why you want me? I said, but I need a book. I said, I get very nervous if I don't have a book. I should read it, etc. And I got a computer copy. When I read the book, I've read every page of the book. This book is really what we call in theatrical terms, anti-Aristotelian technique used. In Aristotelian technique, what is it? You're involved. You make people to carry you with you, lure you, gags here and there, put things so that you're emotionally completely taken with you, and then you lose your sense of thinking. your objectivity. You lose sense of, you want to kill somebody, you're so angry. Those kinds of books have you written. And this is the first book I have read, which is epic in the sense, I'll explain what I mean by that. It is epic in terms of epic theater, we call it. There was a theory after Aristotle came, a theory after Second World War called epic theater. This is anti-Aristotelian, that people should sit in the audience like judges and look at the situation, what's happening in the play or the performance, and they can say, world can be changed. One, Aman, you have done that. Second, that you don't lose control of your senses. You're not being lured by gags and kind of techniques which you use, all kinds of techniques. Here is a structure of the play which is like it uses an epic structure like you will use in Mahabharata technique. You have main story of Pandava and Kauravas, and you have million stories going all, each one somewhere connected to the main trunk. That is what is happening. There are arguments, there are conversations, there are documents, there are observations, comments, letters, all kinds of things. Then his comment on it. And to me, I'm a post-partition kid, to know that this truth, which has never been told to Indian post-partition generation, that Gilgit was annexed by Britishers. They played that trick. Both sides were British officers. I said, okay, raise the flag of Pakistan, we give it to Pakistan, literally like that. And Maharaja's officer in charge was protective custody, he was taken to protect. So this book, always, there are personal stories also, there are dramatic, painful stories, small stories of ordinary human beings. And there are these mega stories of Mountbatten when he talks to Maharaja, so you should go to Pakistan, it will be natural, India will not mind it. He says, no, I can't go to Pakistan. He says, your subjects are Muslim majority, you should go to Pakistan. And then he says, no, but Sheikh Abdullah is very friendly with Nehru, I can't do it. Then another officer comes, this technique used, and on the one side, why Gilgit was given is it was a revelation to me. Gilgit was given because it was a corridor to Russians. So they wanted that free for British, for themselves, which meant while they were giving us the freedom, they were sowing the seeds of pain, misery, bloodshed, war, gunpowder for South Asia, which we are even now suffering of. Therefore, I think this book, not only lawyers need to read it, I think every journalist needs to read it, because it takes the subject completely in a different angle, different argument. It is different subject. The road to save Kashmir or solve Kashmir is by taking kind of a route which this has. This has facts. It's not a book which has been just written by without facts. There are conversations which has happened. There are research material is phenomenal research material. I mean, when I was reading the book, I did not want to leave even one chapter because being a Kashmiri, I did not know all this. No Kashmiri knows it, and you have Kashmiris all over. And I think all separatists need to read it. They will realize they are not even a pan ka patta in this entire geopolitical game that's being played. Today, Kashmir is not for Kashmiris, it's for a geopolitical battlefield. Vested interests, terrorism, economic lobby, you have economy of terrorism happening, you have international players coming and going. Even if one pataka happens in Kashmir, believe me, a driver tells me all this, pata nahi kis agency ne kiya ye. Once there was a strike being ordered and it was withdrawn. Next morning what I get, big gaye hum. Kya big gaye? 125 crore mein big gaye. People tell you because the faith has been lost. There is nobody believes today in Kashmir. And I think this book, every parliamentarian, every MLA, every separatist, in fact, there are a lot of things of Mr. Kasturi and other things what he writes in this book. And every Pakistani will read it because I want to know How will they respond to this book now? Because that will be very interesting because it's based on facts. It's not big. And Aman must be a professionally very successful lawyer. The way he pleads his case before a judge, unknown judge who's there, meaning all of you, all of us. This is a successful book that way. Thank you.